The phrase beauty is in the eye of the beholder is one that we've all certainly heard, and we've all certainly used it incorrectly. A person usually says it when they think something is most definitely not beautiful. It's their way of saying, well, you sure think it's beautiful. I remember a friend showing us her parents' dog when we visited once. It was some kind of like Chihuahua mix that looked more like a rat than a dog. And when she called the dog her precious pretty princess, our other friend commented, well, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, I guess. It's a phrase meant to highlight the fondness we have for the things that we claim to be ours. It's the way we love our families, our friends, and our properties. And it's similar to the way that God viewed the earth when he made it. Genesis 1:31 says, God saw everything he had made. It was supremely good. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder focuses on the idea of subjective beauty, the idea that we all have our own opinions on whether or not something is beautiful. But Scripture takes the subjective out and makes objective statements. This passage doesn't say that God thought the world was good, it says that it was. He didn't make something subjective for us to have a different opinion of, but He intended for us to revel in and celebrate His beautiful creation. Humans love to travel, and a large reason is because seeing new locales gives us perspective. It shows us the diversity in cultures and environments, and seeing these new places and people can fill our hearts with joy at the sight of their beauty. When I visited Chicago a few years ago, I was stunned at the giant buildings, the sparkling lights, the smell of hundreds of different restaurants filling the air. The city was vibrant and filled with life, very different than the smaller, quieter Beeville that we're more familiar with. Something I knew going in, though, was that cities like Chicago and New York, you don't see the stars at night like you do here. Giant buildings and light pollution, or the overabundance of lights, obscure the darkness of the sky at night and keep you from seeing the stars. I thought I'd hate this, but I appreciated it while I was there. It was like seeing new stars rather than no stars. I saw the twinkling of buildings larger than I could ever imagine everywhere I looked. It was a new skyline, and it felt like I was in a different world. The city formerly known as Barrow, Alaska, is the northernmost city in the state and one of the most northernmost cities in the world. It's got plenty of unique aspects, but most well known is its day and night cycle. For a period of over 60 days a year in the winter, it's completely dark all day and night. There's no sunrise and no sunset. Because of the positioning of the city on the globe, it doesn't have the same cycle of sunlight whenever the Earth rotates. Where something like this could be terrifying for somebody not used to it, it's celebrated and revered as a unique and beautiful season there in the area. People travel from all over the globe just to experience it and celebrate its unique nature. God gave us this earth not to destroy, but to be our temporary home until we rejoin Him in heaven. And yet, our habits and consumption do significant damage daily. Climate change is a major threat, and more species of animals have gone extinct in the last decade than in the last century. The kakapo are a species teetering on that edge. They're a friendly, fluffy, flightless parrot, with about 200 of them left thanks to both climate change and human intervention. Humans introduced multiple species of animals to their small island, which in turn competed for food and then ended up using the kakapo as food source. Their numbers are finally increasing by small amounts, but they're still critically endangered. This once thriving and beautiful species was nearly wiped out by irresponsible human habits. This world, God's world, was made good, and it's by human hands that it's fallen so far. Pollution, plastic waste, fossil fuel harvesting, all of it does irreparable damage to the world God made for us to love. With each passing year, natural environments are destroyed or damaged, and the beauty of the world diminishes. It can be stopped, and we can always do better, by recycling, reducing waste, and trying new ideas every single day to make our daily routines more environmentally friendly. God made this world good, and it's our job to keep it good. The more we take time to appreciate the beauty of His creation, the more drive we'll find to take care of it. Wanting to look up from our phones and feet and around at the amazing gifts God has given us. Spend more time outside, less money on products that damage the environment, and appreciate this beautiful world that we call our temporary home.